Hello everyone and welcome back to Fanboy Explosion. I am Seth.
And I'm Cameron.
And today we're going to be taking a look at Oceanhorn, Monster of Uncharted Seas. A game developed by Corn Fox and Brothers, available this week on Steam. It's actually a 2013 iPad release. So this game plays a lot like Zelda. Like a lot like a 2D Zelda. But there's some kind of changes that are made. So where we are right now, this is kind of the overworld, like the overworld map. And kind of like Wind Waker, you have these different islands that you go to, but rather than free sailing to them, you chart a course from here. So right now I'm heading toward the Great Forest, so I just plot in a course and move there, and you're going to see that this looks a lot like Wind Waker, just in the sailing aspect, except I'm not in control of this. I got a little gun here so I can shoot. But yeah, when we get there, you'll see kind of just how similar this is in a lot of gameplay aspects. But you can see right away it's pulling a lot of, I guess you'd say, homage to these both Zelda, Wind Waker art style and its kind of gameplay here. But it's a really fun game. Like I'm about 2 hours in so far. I did the first little kind of mini dungeon, and in true Zelda fashion, you're trying to collect a couple of three different spiritual stones or whatever. So I think this dungeon that I'm coming up on now is the first. Also, I love these little Jake the dog. They look like Jake the dog from here. Squids that pop up. But so yeah, I'm going to the first dungeon to get the very first spiritual stone. I think this is the water one. I'm not sure though.
So you said that this was an iPad game from 2013. So what changes have they made here in the Steam release?
So the big one is controller support. I mean, just like any Steam game you'd kind of expect, it has the Steam Cloud and the cards and all that. But they made the jump from that virtual joystick that most iPad games like this have to more traditional controller. But also it's been optimized for for the computer. It runs really, really smoothly on the computer, has where it looks good on the big screen here. So now we're getting into some of the gameplay aspects of this, and you can see straight off, like, this is a 2D Zelda with...
Yeah, there's a little slime. I don't know what those are actually called.
Little slime dude, chopping down bushes. It's like a 2D Zelda, but with an isometric 3D viewpoint. Even breakable pots. It's... it pays a lot of respect to that. You can tell these developers really like the Zelda franchise, and they wanted to kind of channel that here. You even have, bombs that you can throw. So I've collected a couple of items. Yeah, I mean, it plays very similar to a Zelda game, but it's on PC, so you don't have to have a Nintendo console to play this, and it's really, really fun. But yeah, like I said, I'm about 2 hours in, so I've gotten some stuff. The overarching story is kind of like your dad has disappeared and you gotta solve the mystery, and then there's this monster named Oceanhorn, so you gotta figure out like what his deal is. But eventually they send you on the typical quest for 3 spiritual stones, and that's where I find myself now. So
I noticed when you killed that monster a second ago, you were getting like a little crystal thing. What exactly?
Yeah, so those crystals,
what does that do?
This is one of the big difference between this game and a Zelda game, is it actually has an XP system. So once I get to, let's see, yeah, here we go, to the Restless Grove. I think this is the first dungeon proper. But basically, this game has an XP system. So here's another baddie. So I'll kill him, and you'll notice this crystal kind of flies up above my head, and in the top left-hand corner, you can see that I have about 800 of them, and I'm a level 5 rookie adventurer. So this game actually has a built-in progression system. And it's really neat the way they do that, because a lot of the things you would traditionally get in Zelda games, like bigger bomb bags and the cannon for your boat, are actually gathered through this upgrade system instead of, having to go out and find it. You still get items from dungeons, but that upgrade system kind of incentivizes, exploring, fighting monsters. Monsters respawn. So it definitely encourages you to kind of backtrack and solve puzzles and kind of do everything so you can max out your XP.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, so as far as as far as core gameplay, you can already tell this is very much like a Zelda game, but there's some big differences as well. Specifically, when you think about a 2D Zelda, like you think about these really small kind of the little puzzle rooms, almost like each room is its own individual puzzle. But you'll notice so far we've actually been in quite a large area. So it's, you know, traditionally, like if you're trying to solve like a block puzzle or something like that, like you would go back to a previous room and, you know, reset the puzzle just by, you know, going out of the room and coming back in. But in, you know, in this game, when you solve puzzles and things like that, like, you know, there are no rooms really, like the areas are very big, so they kind of counteract that by having these reset buttons on a lot of the puzzles, like these blue buttons you pop on, and they actually reset the puzzle itself. They've done a really good job of taking this game and trying to kind of update it. Ooh, this looks like a secret zone.
Well, yeah, like in a 2D Zelda game, you have different screens, so, you know, you'd go from one screen to the next, but this is all one big, like, area until you find a cave or something like that, and then you can go in there, and then it'll be a new area.
Exactly, yeah. So a lot of times, you know, 3 or 4 puzzles will be in one section there. But yeah, there's like, just now I was just hitting this little red rock, and each time you hit it, you know, the pitch goes up, like, just like in Wind Waker, it's like doom, 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 and so it has this kind of musical hit to it. But that's a bloodstone. I haven't got to the point in the story yet where they tell me what I do with those, but I've been collecting them. But yeah, here you go, we got treasure chest. Boom, open it up. Woo. Regular key. Not to be confused with a small key. But, now one of the things that I really like about this is that they've managed to take the Zelda formula and differentiate it enough to make a really fun, I use the word homage very specifically because it pays respect to Zelda while also like creating its own world, like the XP system, the way that you solve puzzles, you know, being in larger environments. You can tell that they're not really constrained by a lot of the rules that the Zelda franchise has to follow in order to maintain, you know, the name Zelda. So I think it's really refreshing. And yeah, I mean, you can play this on iPad, you can play it on PC. It's a very accessible game. You don't have to own special hardware or anything to play this. You can play it on probably a device you own already. So I think that's a big draw for me at least.
Yeah, for sure. And it has all the Steam goodies you would expect. It's got the achievements, and it's got cards and all that good jazz.
Yeah, if you like that jazz, then you're good to go. So this is my first time here, so I'm going to be looking around. But yeah, while I'm here, I'm going to show you these little blue machines here are actually save points. Like I was saying, the areas are so big, when you die, I think you lose a little bit of XP, and you go back to those save points. So they've done a really good job. Oh, I see a locked door up here on the map. They do a really good job of kind of scaling the gameplay with some of the changes. You know, a lot of those a lot of those Zelda tropes we know, like, you know, small puzzle rooms and things. Those were due to memory constraints back in the day. But, you know, this game obviously doesn't have those. So it does a good job of kind of breaking free of those. So let's see. All right, Forest Shrine. That's where we're heading.
Yeah, I mean, check out some dungeons.
Yeah, so here's one of the reset buttons I was telling you about. So, like, for instance, if I make a mistake, if I push that in there and I didn't mean to do that, I can step on this button and it's going to pop the box back. So it's a unique way to address kind of the lack of small rooms that you can kind of move things around in. So now I've got to find out. Let's see, I think drop that there. Go up here. Boom. So, and it also has verticality to it, as you can see. Like, you know, some Zelda dungeons will have this, but this game definitely has it. So some ledges you can kind of run off if it's low enough, and then, you know, other ledges are too high for you to run off of. So it does a really interesting, it has some really interesting gameplay mechanics, because a lot of times you can see items like up on a ridge or something, but you can't quite get to them until you have another item or something. So it's really fun in that way. You know, like Zelda used to do that with like maybe like a pit or a gap that you can't get across, but now it's like there's verticality to it. So that's really fun. I mean, so far I've been, you know, like I said, about 2 hours in, and I really enjoyed it. This game's actually really challenging too. There are a couple zones I got stuck at. Like, enemies were really tough. Puzzles, like, you have to do a lot of exploring to solve some of the puzzles, because you know, some of this stuff is like, it's not obvious. You have to find where the switch is, or to find which enemy has the key. You have to do some exploring. But yeah, like when I just chopped that bush down right there, like, these bugs are running over here. Like, it's those kinds of attention to detail that I absolutely love in games like this. And if you didn't know that this was a mobile game, like, you couldn't tell. Like, this game feels like a full console release. And I really respect the developers for doing that. Like, it's, you know, a lot of times you hear the word mobile port and you get scared. You think it's a cheap game or something like that. But no, this is, you know, nowhere near that. It is a full standalone release. And right now I think it's on sale for $11.99. It's normally $14.99. So it's a much more affordable game than a traditional Zelda game too. So if you like this type of gameplay, this is right up your alley. I mean, it's a great buy on Steam or iOS. I think on iOS it's only $9, but it looks great. I mean, it looks beautiful on iOS too. So
yeah, it looks great. I know we talked a lot before about how much we love Wind Waker. So just to be able to get that kind of gameplay experience, that Zelda gameplay experience with that ocean, you know, Wind Waker vibe.
Yeah, I
be
mean,
able
look
to
at
get
this
that on the
dude's
PC
costume.
is really refreshing.
Look at this dude's costume. It's like blue. It's like straight out of like the intro, you know, the intro sequence of Wind Waker. So.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you can definitely tell a lot of the similarities, and just like the shield, you know, looks very kind of similar to the Zelda shield. And
Yes.
now I saw
very
when
nice.
you were a second ago, you were running, and there was like a green bar over your head. What is that doing?
Yeah, so if you hold down A, you run, and that's your stamina bar, and you see it regenerates. But this is another key thing that kind of separates this game from a traditional Zelda game, and that specifically how stamina plays into blocking. So when you block an enemy, you notice how my stamina goes down instead of, you know, taking partial damage. So if you're in like a fight with 3 or 4 enemies, you can't just sit there and continuously block. Otherwise, you'll run out of stamina, and you know, you can't run away, you can't block at that point, so you're kind of stuck. So they do some really interesting things with trying to encourage you to use your resource, you know, use your stamina resource intelligently rather than just kind of blowing it all, you know, just sitting in a corner and trying to defend. So, you know, that's another key difference from, you know, from this to Zelda games. Like I was saying, they do a really good job of bringing this game to, they are applying modern game design to a classic formula, and I think it works really well, especially considering the price. So yeah, this guy's got a key floating above him. So sometimes you have to search the area and find where these, you know, where the key holders and all that would be.
So are there like boss battles in this game? Have you encountered any big bosses or anything like that?
I haven't encountered like a big boss, but then again, this is the first like proper like dungeon.
Okay, so that's where you're at right now. So you haven't.
So
quite
yeah,
done.
I mean, this would be. Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, this is okay. So this is the boss fight. All right. Speaking
Okay,
of,
well there you go. This is like, well, maybe is this like a mini boss or a?
I don't know. Like if, you know, like I said, this is my first time in this zone, so I don't know.
All right, well let's duke it out.
Yeah. So this will be a good chance to see the. Oh, all right. Too slow, dog. Too slow. The blocking mechanic. You know, like blocked it. See, our person blocks too, so I got to get behind it.
He's got the Shank Master going, trying to shank you.
Oh yeah, here's a classic move right here. Oh shoot, there we go. Spin attack. So
I mean, yeah, you can't
that.
have a Zelda-like game without the spin attack. Completely impractical in real world, but very important in virtual world.
Yeah, especially fighting people like this. Oh shoot. So yeah, I mean there are you know, like I was saying earlier, it has this XP system that it uses to dish out upgrades, but there are other like upgrades hidden in the world, like, you know, heart containers are a thing. That you know, that you find in the world. But yeah, like you know, when I went from level 4 to 5, I got an upgraded bomb bag. So a lot of times, you know, in Zelda, you can miss those kinds of upgrades if you're not careful. There we go. You can miss those kinds of upgrades if you're not careful. Where I like how in this game it kind of forces those upgrades on you through the natural just XP, you know, process like of leveling up. So I think that's pretty nice. But you can tell that's like a mobile game trope that's kind of been carried over here. So I think that's pretty cool. But all right, so I don't know if that was the first boss fight or if that was a mini boss. Oh no.
It looked like a mini boss.
That was a mini boss because I think this is the dungeon right here. So see, now I don't know where that person went. I can't go in there yet. All right. Let's see what's up here.
Solve the mystery.
There we go. Whoop. So yeah, here you can see like a lot of like verticality in this, in this 2D world. Like I'm running all along. I'm dropping down on ledges. Yeah, heading up here to the secret switch. So this is something that really sets this game apart. Oh yeah, so like right here, I'm running. I can't run off. So you kind of have certain number of or certain amount of height that you can fall without kind of running into an invisible wall. And of course, you see I'm collecting these coins. That's the currency, instead of rupees. But
and what do you do with the coins?
So
you just buy
there's a
like
store
arrows
in town.
and bombs with them
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Arrows and bombs are the main thing right now. He sells something called like a broken tracker or something. I can't remember what it's called, and it's like very expensive. So it makes me think that it is like a, kind of maybe a side quest start item that you get. And then he sells a piece of heart as well, so you can, up that. But that's very, very expensive. But another thing that really sets this game apart, and I think is really neat, and I'll show you when we first pulled up to the island, you probably saw the 3 of them at the bottom, but I'll pull up the start menu so you can see. Over on the left here, you actually have what's called challenges. And these are certain things that each island has their own set of challenges. If you perform these challenges, then you get a certain amount of crystals. So, like I've already done Secret Sword Art, which was do the spin attack. But then like, use bombs to break walls 10 times is one of the challenges. So once I do that, I'll get a certain amount of XP. And some of the challenges are really difficult. Like I know on the shop island, like finishing the whole side quest chain gives you like 750 crystals, which would be like 2 levels at this point. But later in the game, okay, what do we got here? Oh, this guy has no all right, I'm gonna try my magic spell. So I have a magic spell here that I can, oh yeah, there we go. Get out of here. Yeah, run away. But yeah, I mean, the game itself is beautiful. The controls are very tight. That's one of the things that a lot of people get worried about. Let's see. Path to the Hall of Emblem ahead. All right. So we need to go that way. But yeah, a lot of people, they get scared. They're like, oh, these kinds of games, the combat needs to be smooth and the controls need to be tight. They are. Like, the developer spent a lot of time trying to make sure that this game was tight and fun to play. Oh, man, what do we got here? All right. I'm gonna cast a spell on this dude. Get done. But yeah, I mean, you see so far we've got combat, we've got some block pushing puzzles. I haven't really got anything more than bombs yet, so I'm sure there are some.
That's what you're gonna get in this dungeon.
Hopefully, yeah. I hope I get something like a.
So yeah, it doesn't seem like you don't get like a dungeon map or like a compass or anything because you already have the map and things like that. So do you just get like keys to unlock the new areas of the dungeon? Is that basically
yeah? Basically, the only thing I've run into is you get regular keys and the master key is what they call it. Oh yeah, look at this over here. That tells me that I'm going to be getting a bow or a slingshot soon. So we'll see which one of those. But yeah, you get the map. So yeah, this is a regular key, just like a small key. It opens up, a door and then it's consumed. But then you also get the master key, and the master key is what is used for getting in the boss room and opening the big chest. So it's kind of like a Link to the Past in those regards. Where you're, but yeah, no dungeon map, no compass. All the chests and everything show up on the mini map by default. But given the game has so much verticality to it, like you may see a chest, but you probably can't get to it without doing some kind of, some snazzy puzzle solving or something like that. Also, I'm not sure what that item is. I think that might be magic, like the little honey, jars of honey.
Oh, yeah, that refills your magic meter.
Yeah, because my magic's full after collecting that, so. But yeah, hopefully we can make it through this dungeon. I don't imagine these dungeons are super long. I think it'd be really cool to make it through there.
See if there's a boss battle. See what that is like.
Yeah, I really want to see if there is a boss, because that will be a big deciding. And honestly, I said I'm about 2 hours in. I would say that's maybe a bit of a puffed number for a typical player, because I've been kind of exploring and also setting up to record this stuff. So I would probably say a more realistic number for this point in the game, maybe like an hour or an hour and a half. Okay, what do we do? All right, here we go. Water levels, like water, you know.
Oh no. Oh no.
Having those
No,
good flashbacks.
be gentle. So can you swim?
Yeah, you can swim.
Oh, okay. That's good, considering the entire world is an ocean.
Yeah, basically.
That would be bad.
Now, I don't know necessarily that you can... Okay, that way's blocked. You know, I don't know that you can swim out very far, but yeah, for like puzzles and stuff like this, it's nice that they don't bog you down with like having to get items to do basic things. So, so far, I mean, the game has not gotten in the way. I think that starting as a mobile game might have actually helped it a little bit because it was designed to be consumed in, you know, kind of smaller chunks maybe. So it feels like you could, you know, you don't necessarily have to sit down and commit hours and hours to this like you would think you have to. All right, don't have a key for that.
Though you do have to find like the save points. You can't just save at any time. So
yeah, exactly. You do have to find that. So I mean, I don't know. Like, the last kind of dungeon had maybe like 2 or 3, kind of spread throughout, and you can go back to them and resave and whatnot. So it's pretty generous as far as that's concerned. Now, at this point, I raised the water level, so that means there's got to be something. Let's see what I got in here. What am I missing? I like the little bats, too. The little Cyclops bats.
yeah.
They're really amping it up, you know. A normal bat probably wouldn't scare me, but if I saw that thing...
It's like a Zubat.
Yeah, yeah. Except in far fewer numbers. I don't know, did I hit this already? Oh, no, I did not. Alright.
They should just replace bats in all Zelda games with Zubat.
Oh, gosh. They just swarm you as soon as you walk in?
Anytime you go into a cave, you like can't walk 5 steps without being assaulted by a swarm of bats.
Yeah, and the very first thing they do when they see you is they invert your controls.
Yeah, they cast a
Confuse ray.
Or confuse
Oh, okay,
ray.
here's
Yeah.
our key. Here's our key, because I saw a door just a second ago. I think that was outside. But yeah, I mean, this, like, just playing this puzzle right now, like, this puzzle, or this dungeon is, I think, a little bit more, like, there's more meat to this one, because the previous one I didn't really have any items, so it was more or less just, like, 2 block puzzles and then a couple of enemies. Oh, okay. What do we got?
Oh, and it did just auto-save your game when you came in this room, so it does look like there is some... You don't always have to find the save points to progress.
Yeah, because it looks like this is a mini boss. Whoop. Yep. Okay. Oh, let's just do this the good old-fashioned way. Oh, shoot.
Chop him up.
All right. Termos's arm. I don't know who Termos is.
I bet that's the boss. So you're just fighting his arm right now, and
I'm fighting the arm. I'm about to die to the arm too, so
you'll fight the full thing later. Now, can you get like potions or anything like that?
There are potions for sale in
attacks.
town. They have one called the Second Chance Potion, which is basically a fairy in a bottle. Okay, there we go. Let's give it a good old spin attack here. Oh, 2 attacks, yes. Alright. Oh, man. Come on, do your spin move. Oh, there we go. Alright, got a key.
Defeated.
Oh, yeah, so this is the big chest that I have to get the master key for, so... let's see... Oh, okay, here's the key to get out of here. So, yeah, I mean, 2 mini-bosses in this dungeon so far. I'm down with that, like... And I think... What was it? 2 Mars or whatever? I think that's going to be the big boss. So I'm anxious to see what he looks like, because... the art design for this game is very colorful and playful, and I wonder if they... You know, are the monsters scary, or are they, you know, some of the ogres are pretty, like, there's a desert zone that had some ogres, and they were pretty, I mean, terrifying, like, giant warhammers and whatnot, so, but it's nice to see that each environment kind of has its own set of enemies. Like, I'm not seeing, like, the little guys are obviously recycled, like these little beetle guys, but each environment seems to have its own collection of baddies, which I think is kind of neat. But one thing that's that I would like to point out, like, a lot of people would just label this as Zelda clone, and you know, if that's how you describe it, you know, fine. But they did a really good job at the beginning of the game setting up this world and giving a lot of backstory into the characters. So like the person I was fighting earlier in the very first mini boss was kind of this bird person, and I've been talking to a couple of those. But that was an avian race that used to be like extremely technologically savvy and advanced, but they kind of fell off. Like they started to disappear, and now there's only a few of them left, and their homeland used to be a beautiful forest, and now it's like a desert. That was the desert zone. And there's another, you know, there's another water-based race, you know. And so a lot of people would be like, oh, well, that's a Zora clone or whatever. But no, like they've done a really good job of like creating a world that kind of has things going on. There is an overarching story with a big bad guy. Like Oceanhorn is kind of the big bad guy, but then they also allude to the fact that there's a bigger bad guy that is kind of controlling, you know, all of this,
you know,
or the root of all
Ganondorf.
this. Well, yeah. I mean, it's so I'm really excited to finish this and see like how well they flesh it out. Oh, okay, I'm back. That's not the way I need to go. Not correct. I have to say, this is a pretty good chunk of a dungeon.
Yeah, and I mean, it looks like it requires you to go back to kind of previous rooms. Like you don't have the, like in a Zelda game, a lot of times you'll get the master key, and then it'll kind of naturally flow you into the room with the master key, or like the master, or the chest with the I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. The big
like
chest.
The big chest, yeah.
Yeah, the big chest. But in this game, it's like you've already been to that room and you've already cleared it out, but you can't do anything there yet, so you have to go find the key and then come back to it. So it requires a little more like running around, I think.
Yeah. I mean, they're making you go back in some places, and the enemies do respawn. So there's a fresh challenge there when you do go back. Okay, to push that, I guess. Maybe. Let's see. That makes me drop down here. Ah, here we go. Nope. All right. Let's see. Oh, this is where I came in. All right.
Slowly but surely figuring it out.
I need to lower the water level. How do I do that? Let's see. Oh, there's a button down there. Let's go to that. You know, one thing that can kind of throw you off in this is a lot of the, like these boulders, like a lot of the boulders and stuff can be picked up, but they don't necessarily say that they can. So I feel like there's something I can pick up in here. Nothing over here. And I thought that was one of them, but apparently not.
Well, I think Seth's gonna be stuck here for all eternity.
Probably. Let's see. No, I mean, there's a... We got a depressed... Wait, maybe I'll just stand on that button. I may not have to hold it down. Let's see. Yeah, that was it. You just gotta step on it. Okay, well. Derpity derp. Alright, here we go. Alright.
Oh, new world.
Yep. I feel like I should be getting pretty close, because I found the master chest. The switch to lower the... Okay.
Yeah, you just need the key.
Alright, well. Lower the water level. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright. Let's not open that gate, shall we? Oh, okay, that opened that gate. Cool. What's back here? Oh man, that guy's going nuts. Nothing. All right, good.
Well,
Let's see. Yeah, I would like to get to the boss. I want to see what the boss looks like.
that might take a while. But yeah, this is Oceanhorn.
This is
Master
Oceanhorn.
of Uncharted Seas.
Yes,
You
like
can pick
I
it
said,
up on Steam.
$11.99 on sale right now. $14.99 regularly. I mean, for $15, like I said, I mean, even if you get like 5 hours out of this, it's extremely enjoyable so far.
Yeah, I mean, it
we
just
got?
came out on Steam, which is why it's got that discount right now. So if you're interested in it, definitely pick it up sooner rather than later before that price goes back up. But
Yep. And
yeah,
if
I mean,
not,
you're
just-
definitely going to be getting your money's worth, I think.
Oh yeah, put it on your wish list, and you know, I'm sure it'll go on sale if you don't. But $15 is. There we go.
Oh, so okay, there you go. It leads you back into that room.
Bada bing.
And you got the
now
bow.
I bet I can shoot this. So yeah. Whoop. Okay. How do I shoot this? Oh, there we go. Cool. Do we want to finish that? Do we want to roll through this? You want to see the boss?
I mean, if you can get to it.
Let's see. I've only seen one other.
Yeah, it was like outside, I remember.
Yeah. Oh, come on, get out. Actually, it's pretty close. Oh, yep, there we go. I do not know how that bow works.
Well, you best learn quickly.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm gonna be forced into it in just a second. The crypt. All right, this is sounding pretty boss-like. Ooh. Ah, button. Ah! Oh, well, I think I'm dead. Yep, I am dead. Wow.
No.
Absolutely fantastic. That's a death pit. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I would say. That does not look like.
Yeah, so see I dropped my XP down there, and I think
Mhm.
it's gone. So,
But
They-
yeah,
you
it
know-
auto saved it when you walked in that room.
yeah, so they're not
So
punishing
that's
you
not that bad.
too badly. Oh. Okay. Emblem of Earth in the Central Hall. Okay. Let's see. I think this is wood. Most wood things explode. Let me. Oh, okay. There we go. So yeah, you'd use the D-pad to toggle through items, which I'm not exactly sure if that's going to be intuitive once I have a ton of items, but we'll see. Okay, here we go. Party time. Central Hall. Oh yeah, this is a boss. Here we go. This is it.
Rock on.
Oh my. Oh dear. Termos, there he is. So just like Zelda, it has the evil overgrowth. I like that. All
Okay,
right.
so he's like a weird tentacle frog monster thing.
Oh, got it. All right. Okay. Okay, I got to hit him once. All right.
Yeah, that did a lot of damage though.
Yeah. Oh, there's a little guy. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah,
Hold on.
may throw the bombs in his mouth. Some more. Do more of
Bombs
that.
bombs or arrows?
I don't know. It looked like you did more damage when you threw a bomb in there.
All right. Well, I'll be throwing some bombs. I got 10 bombs, so come here. Come here. I'm gonna get you.
Also, all the enemies are like dropping bombs when you
Oh yeah.
defeat them. I think bombs are the way to go. Which is kind of strange, actually, considering you just got the bow.
We'll see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I got 3 off on him. There we go. I'll take that. I need that bomb.
Yeah, it looks like you just, rinse and repeat in true Zelda fashion once you figure out what you need to do. So nothing
That's
too
true.
complicated here, really, but...
Yeah, I like the zone, like they're using an interesting, I don't know, it's like when you're in a boss fight, it feels more like a 3D Zelda than a 2D Zelda, because you got this camera like flowing around with you. Oh man, we're close on this guy. Yeah, we got this camera kind of floating around with you. I think that's kind of interesting. Like they're kind of blending these game modes in a really unique way. I do wish this used the bow more. I mean, the bow is classic. Oh, come on. That would have been awesome if we got a double kill. All right, I think this might be it.
Finish him.
Get dunked. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the first boss of Oceanhorn, Monster of Uncharted Seas. Corn Fox and Brothers, so far you've done a great job. This is absolutely, it's very fun, great value of a game. Play it. If you got an iPad, download it. $9, $15 on Steam, or $12 if you can catch it on sale right now. This is fun. So I'll go ahead and stop it here because I don't want to spoil too much of the story if you're interested in it. But yeah, definitely check it out. All right. Thanks so much for joining us. This has been Oceanhorn on another Fanboy Explosion Quickie, and we'll see you next time.